In this video, I want to show you how to create your blog in Kajabi. Now, this is completing a section for us. We've been putting a playlist together here, working our way through Kajabi. And so this is the last one in the navigation, talking about blogs. And I guess if you're watching this, you're already convinced about blogs, but I keep telling myself all the time we need to get better at this. We create content for YouTube like this, and it should actually be there as a blog as well, because it's just another way for people to find us. And I do know that when I've searched for one of my videos and I'm checking how it's ranking, once or twice I've spotted a blog post of mine that's actually there on the same page as well. So they can rank well, and you can hit people two different ways, either coming over to YouTube and watching a video, or reading a blog post, or as we'll see here, potentially bringing that same video into your blog post. Now, before we get into this, if you don't have Kajabi yet and you're just doing your research to find out if this is the right platform for you, I'd love to offer you an extended free trial. Instead of the 14 days that Kajabi can give you, I've got a 30-day trial, and as a thank you for using our affiliate link, you'll get our 28-day Kajabi Kickstart Challenge, where you'll get to build and sell your first mini course and use a free lead magnet to grow your email list. You'll be amazed at how simple this all is to set up. And we've seen a lot of our customers who have gone through this challenge actually make sales before they get to the end of the trial. And because we're committed to your success, every affiliate who comes through our link is invited into our Kajabi Academy, where we'll support you in our community, including bi-weekly Zoom calls from me. And if you stay past the trial, we'll continue to offer the same support totally free for as long as you're on Kajabi. So have a look in the description for Kajabi Kickstart and you can sign up there. So blog posts, we're going to start over here. It's the bottom of this website navigation, and it says to us, because we've got no blog here at the minute, create your blog. Let's get started. Now, these are default settings. To be honest, we're going to create this every time we do a blog post. So I'm not particularly worried about putting this in. So we're now going to create our first blog post. And so do we want to put video and audio in here, or put text in? And we're coming at this with YouTube content. And so should we put that video into here so that it's actually native inside of Kajabi, or do we want to link to it from YouTube? Well, personally, we've come at this both ways over the years, and we originally used to load them up here into Kajabi. Now I've shifted my thinking, and I would rather get the views counted against our YouTube channel and all the benefits of that. So we're not going to connect a video at the top here. We're going to bring down this section here to our titles, put our content in, and we're actually going to embed the video down here from YouTube. And I'm going to show you how to do it with one of our videos. Now, if you had a video that wasn't on YouTube, I'm not quite sure where it would be if it wasn't on YouTube, but you can upload a video here, or your audio from a podcast potentially. But we're not going to do that. So I'm going to come down. I've got an example here. So this is a video of ours from a year ago, how to make your YouTube calls pop with branding. So we're going to pull this in as our title. This for me is really where we would be creating this blog, and to actually back up the same videos that we're creating. And when I click on share here, it's going to say to me embed. And look, I can copy this here. In fact, I can probably just click copy there. Yep. And over I come, and right at the top here, if I go to source code, I can click on that and I can drop in an iframe, and in comes my video straight at the top of my page. Now you need to do that because if you just dropped it in here, it would put text in like this. So it needs to come in through source code. Sorry, that was a bit quick. And that's put it up here inside a paragraph, which is what we want it to do. And then we can carry on below that. In this example, we had a go at this, and we were using ChatGPT to create some content for us. And we fed the video in, and we said, turn this into a blog post with step-by-step guides. Now, mixed feelings about it, but it's fine for this example. In fact, from memory, we're just going to change this back over, actually, how to brand your Zoom calls. And then I'm going to cheat a bit because I've already punched this in once. So I'm just going to hit copy and paste here. Let me just open this up to a full-size page. So I've just dropped some text in here. And what I've done is, from the video, at certain points, I've just taken screenshots and I've brought them in. And these are a bit big, so I'm going to size that up, and it will actually keep those sizes. Doesn't want to jump. I can stay there. You could be saving these at out at proper sizings if you wanted, and it would bring them in the right way. But you get the idea. So I've actually given people here really what I'm covering in the video, but this is a step-by-step guide. We've put links in here that you wouldn't be able to get to from the video, and a nice little conclusion at the end. So I'm going to click back out of that. So now this is me looking at it as in the editor. And this is how I would come at it. So we can put that video in. It's linking across to YouTube. Anybody that clicks it, it'll count as a view over on YouTube. But we're also putting in a description over here as well with some nice screenshots to make sense of it all. Now I'm also going to pull down my image from the YouTube video. And what's good practice actually is, so we're going to drop this image in over here. It does make sense to change the file name of your image. So I just pulled that down and it came out as max rev default. I'm going to save that out, and actually I can change this extension to JPEG. And so when I come down here to select my image, upload a new file, I can drag that on, save it, upload one file, and I'm also going to put the same title in here for the alt text. I used to do web design years ago using WordPress. These kind of tricks of putting the alt text in really do help actually, because as the search bots are going around looking, it's looking at all these elements that really say, so this whole keyword phrase of how to brand your Zoom calls, it's pulling it in from all places. It can't see the image, but it can pull it in from there. And so I can change the name of this here. So for search engine, it will pull in, if I leave this blank, it will pull in the title. So we could say brand your Zoom calls. Let's take it a little bit shorter. Page title was how to brand your Zoom calls. So we don't actually need to bring this in because it will pull in this title. So if I leave that blank, it will pull in the title from above, but it will pull in a description here. So I can just take the first few characters from this if I want to. It'll let me do 160. So there's way too much there. So I could pull that down. I'm now down to 63. And social image, we're going to use the same file. I've made this mistake before, and sometimes it will pull in the first image that it sees from within your blog post. So in this case, it'll be pulling this one up as the logo for it. So we're just covering all the bases and making sure we've got that sorted in here. I can then set this to published, or I can set a specific date for this to publish. Let's have a look and click save, and then we can actually preview this. And then we're going to come back a little bit and just talk about how we do this branding and things on here. So how to brand your Zoom calls. So in it comes, and so here's our title, and then it's pulling in this video and the description down below. Right, we're going to change that because we don't want to see all of this coming through. And in actual fact, this wouldn't be a bad idea, that instead of bringing this in like this, so instead of having this image right at the top, and you'll see that by default, that brings in this logo at the top and then the video below it and all of this. Let's see if we can improve that in the way we brand it. So that is our first blog post in. Now, if you remember when we were in website and design, we had option to change a lot of other pages around. And so when I click on here and customize, one of our options is the blog. And we've got the blog as a whole, and we've got the blog search and a blog post. So this is the blog as a whole. Now, I can have a banner at the top. It isn't fitting at the minute with what I got here, but I would change this around, and we can custom write a heading over the top of this that would say something about the blog that we've got. Do be careful to change this, because at the minute you've got a lot of lorem ipsum in there and we need to get that out. So we would type something in over the top of this, just saying about our blog and why you should be here. Then this is in the same way that we've looked at the other pages. So I'm hoping you've watched my other videos where we've looked at how to build a website here, how to do landing pages. So it's very much the same that we're looking at these different sections. We've got this header up here. Then we've got the main blog listings in here. And look, it's given us these options here. Do we want to show the video, show the date, show tags, show the content? So we don't have a video. We're not going to show the date because This is actually an old video that I've pulled in here and it would mess that up. We can add tags and we do want to show the content, but we can truncate it after 200 characters, which means it will just show these first 200 ... continue reading. And we can change that around if we want to from a different way of saying it. How many listings per page do we want? We'll stick with 12 on here. We can change the coloring around on the different elements of this. We can adjust our sidebar. So at the minute we've got a search, we've got categories, we've got the instructor, I believe. So sidebar search, categories, so author, I'm going to hide that. I don't want to see myself as an author over there. Categories will fill up as we start to build that out, and social links isn't a bad idea. You can also add over there, if you want to, a call to action. So that's just brought in this line here and the call to action below it. We can also add a custom block over here, and what you'll see is this is giving me an image, text, and a call to action to play with over here. So I can put an image in at the top. So if I wanted to promote a lead magnet or something that I got, I could put the image of that there. I could have the text below it, and I can have my call to action. And as hopefully you've seen already from other videos, we can change the color of these buttons and things over here. We can change the position of it, the size of it. Do we want it to be full width? Do we want it to be aligned center? How big do we want that button to be? So yeah, very useful to be able to use that sidebar there, because anyone who's searching here is looking at that sidebar. We can then look at what other customizing can we do. The blog list container. Put blog listings in a container, so it's sitting here in this space. You can have a width for this, the border of this container, so you can just see now where this is. This is this gray border around it. We could put a shadow if we wanted. We could do the same thing with the sidebar and have a container over there if we wanted. So you can see that it's now just putting it. Remember, I've got these guides turned on now. So we could put a container around that, change the color of it, do a drop shadow. In the background, we could change the color of it. So there's a lot of branding that you can do in here. Desktop layout, we can put padding around this as well. And we could also adjust for mobile layout as well, quite how this looks. We can also, this is at the minute choosing a list. When we come back to this blog listings area, we could actually have it as a 2-column grid. We could have it as a 3-column. We can have the media on the left, so it will put it like this, and then that would be the text normally with our image there. So again, good options here. It's looking a bit lost at the moment because it hasn't got any other content on the side. So I might actually just change this back to a list form. Now, what I think I've done here, and I'm not sure whether I can change it, but let's have a look. If we come back to our blog and our lonely little video there, I think if I remove the blog image, so let me just preview this a second. This is kind of thinking on the fly. My concern here is that I've got this image and then straight underneath it is the video. I'm just wondering if I don't have a blog image, it's not going to affect my social posts. But if I remove this and save it, will that now? Yeah, much better. So now it brings my title in, my YouTube video, and then the description below. So sorry about that. I kind of worked that out as I was going. In this case, because I've got a video sitting right underneath it, and we're going to have looks like 2 thumbnails sitting one underneath the other, I'm actually leaving that blog image out. And I'm just going straight into the post here. So no video or audio at the top. Title, straight into this with the YouTube video link at the top embedded. Then we come down to this description or the actual blog post itself. And then we've filled out this down here. Now, let me just come back into, if it'll... Let me jump back through. We wanted to have a look at the settings, the design. And so that was the blog itself, the blog post. So we can customize this as well. So when someone's clicked on that menu and they've come to it, or they've come straight to the blog post, again, we can customize this top. You don't even need to have it there if you don't want it. Let me come back. Hero, we can hide. So there is no hero if you don't want that. Kind of looks nice. I'm just trying to show you options. And so what do we have? So again, now we're actually in this page. Do we want the header on top? Yes. Do we want to show the date? No. Again, style overrides if we want to change anything. And again, that sidebar, do we want to show the sidebar? So you can actually turn it off and there is no sidebar now. That would be a bit of a loss. We want it on the right. Do we want to show it on mobile and mobile or the mobile sidebar on the bottom? And then this is what's going into it. So we've got that search over on the sidebar. It's a shame it's jumping around like this while we're trying to edit it. The categories, the social links, and again, we can add things in there, just like we said about on the last page. A blog post call to action. So we can show a call to action that will be in all of our blog posts. So this will sit at the bottom of this page. This is the default that comes through with this theme, but we could change that around and we could have a blog post sitting there. It could have a form that could send people straight off to either download or go and watch a webinar or something. So that can be a really nice touch. Blog post opt-in. So we could show an opt-in. That's appeared up here. So that actually sits inside the blog post. So that was where I finished it. And let me just turn it off and you'll see it appear. So I finished with that conclusion. That actually fits at the bottom. I think that looks nicer actually than the call to action. So we've turned off the call to action, although it's still there. Why is this still here? Newsletter opt-in. Right, we're going to hide you. So then we've got this at the bottom here. So again, stay up to date with, get our latest updates. Maybe you've got a newsletter that you're putting these blog posts out in. So we came at this with we've got our header at the top. It's just like our pages. We've got this block in the middle, which is our blog post body. We've got our newsletter opt-in, and we can actually continue down here. And look, we can still add all of these things in at the bottom of our blog post if we want to. Testimonials and things down at the bottom of the page. Yeah, that's entirely up to you whether you want to add these things in. I'm not convinced I would. I think I would just keep it as the blog with just this at the bottom here. So that's the blog post itself, the blog search. Let's leave this. This is a page when you are actually searching around on here and or when on the previous page you clicked into the search, this is the page that the results are going to come out on. So again, there's some branding on here. Would be easier if we got some content in and you can actually look at it. So definitely come back to this. And if you remember when we looked at the building a website in Kajabi, I showed you how you can change this around and preview it so you can be seeing how this appears on a mobile phone as well. This element down the bottom has come back in for our mobile. So I want to hide this block on mobile and it's gone. How good is that? Let's save and we can bring this back up. And I obviously didn't save that when I changed it in the last one. Newsletter opt-in I took out, or I hid it, but I didn't save it. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too quick going through that, but that's just showing you then how you can add this in and we can preview that. This is then how your blog looks. We can click this, we can come over, continue reading. It'll bring us in. We can now look at this video or read down there. We could search in here. And if I put in brand, hey ho, it's brought up this one here, which is the video we want. Nice. So yes, very capable. I think blogs typically are quite basic in form really, but it's doing everything it needs and it will add value to you if you can. This is another place for just Google to be able to search you, for your customers obviously then to be able to search you and find you and access your training, find your downloads, your lead magnets. Yeah, I encourage you to have a go at this. Let me know how you get on with that. So that's it for blogs. I hope you found that useful. Let me know in the comments if you got any questions about this. And as I mentioned at the start, if you're not already on Kajabi, we'd absolutely love it if you came through our affiliate link so that we can help and support you for as long as you're on Kajabi. So there we go. That's this one here. The next video, we're now moving into the marketing section and getting into some emails. So why don't you check out that video next? Come and join us over there.